Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is our spoiler-filled review. The spoiler thing's over there.
Still.
This is our spoiler-filled review of The Mummy with Tom Cruise. We're going to talk about spoilers. There's going to be lots of spoilers. And if you are wondering, we're going to spoil it. So if you're still watching at this point in time, it's on you. You've had 30 seconds to stop the video. You're on your own at this point in time. Does everybody understand?
Sure.
Good.
I do.
All right. So our initial thoughts on The Mummy.
Initial thoughts on the movie?
On the movie.
I thought it was fun. Not as harsh of a critic as some, as Rotten Tomatoes is making it out to be.
It was like 18% last night or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like 46% or something like that. Viewership wise or whatever, but the critics were panning the shit out of it. I thought it was kind of the same thing like King Kong. I liked King Kong a lot, but it was a stupid, silly, fun popcorn movie. It was funny when it needed to be funny, and it was serious when it needed to be serious. Plenty of action, great special effects. I wasn't looking for Ben-Hur or
Citizen Kane.
Gone with the Wind. Logan. I wasn't expecting anything of that caliber, but there was a lot of pre-sale of this movie. They had Mummy Mondays where they were doing little featurettes, and there was a lot of different trailers. A lot of them showing a lot of the same stuff. But
some new stuff.
I
went into this expecting to have already seen the movie. I was pleasantly surprised that there was stuff that a lot of content that we hadn't seen, or at least I hadn't seen in the trailers. Although there were a couple points where it was like, well, this would be a lot more impactful if I hadn't seen it yet. Like the plane crash for the millionth time.
Yeah. Not as cool as the plane crash from Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah,
but
that was cool.
But that's like the standard for plane crashes or Lost. So overall, pretty okay. You know,
it was okay.
Was there anything though you didn't like about the movie?
So what I didn't like. So I thought that there's been some comments of people saying that, you know, Tom Cruise carried the movie, or, you know, he was the big name or whatever. And I kind of felt the opposite. For me, him being in the movie took away from it. It wasn't, what was his name? Nick Morton. You know, I didn't see that character. I saw Tom Cruise.
Right.
Playing, you know.
Right.
Going after the mummy and stuff. So, I would have preferred it to have been a less well-known actor, so I could have maybe gotten more into the character. I don't know. That was my big complaint. You know, people said it wasn't. They thought the jokes were dumb. We must have a bad sense of humor because I mean I giggled.
I laughed at almost all of them.
Yeah,
and our whole theater did too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Maybe we're not as critical there.
Our humor is not as
refined.
Refined.
Overall, like I said, I like the movie, but there's some things that I like to have seen them do differently. I initially didn't agree with the Tom Cruise comments that we were talking about last night after the movie, but now that I've had time to kind of think about it, I really like Tom Cruise. And you're not going to do this dark universe thing without big names and putting all this money into it. And you need to have somebody of Tom Cruise's level to be there. But I think that you're right. I think in the overall scheme of things, somebody of a little lower stature. I don't want to.
Was that a short joke?
Yes.
Tom Cruise is short.
It is. But I'm trying to think of somebody else that would have been good in that role, and I just can't think of somebody that would have drawn me in as much as Tom Cruise. But I agree that maybe having such a big name in it, having and one of my likes is going to be about Russell Crowe. But again, Russell Crowe's in it.
Having the big name as not the main character,
right,
but as the co-star, not even co-star, but supporting actor, would have worked for me. But Brandon Lewis, from the original Mummy.
Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
You know, he was, I mean, Encino Man, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he was.
yeah.
He was a B-list actor before he did Mummy, and I think that's why that worked.
Yeah, that's true. One of my other complaints is actually going to be one of the things I actually liked, so it's going to sound kind of contradictory. Russell Crowe was awesome. I think he was underutilized.
Yeah.
And it's been all over everything. He's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and they do a really good job of showing the difference between the two characters, but they really didn't CGI him too much and do all that stuff.
No.
And I kind of wish they would have when he turned into Hyde, because Hyde is this, big, overpowering Hulk kind of character, and I like to have seen that. The other thing that I kind of felt like it maybe was a drawback was the idea of the Dark Universe was actually just set up in this movie, and so that kind of pulled a little bit. It was more about a lot of the movie was about the setup of the Dark Universe,
right?
And that's okay, but I think it was maybe too much setup and not enough about the Mummy.
Well, and so spoilers. So at the end, Tom Cruise becomes the Mummy.
Yeah.
So I kind of
monster.
I kind of almost felt like this wasn't the Mummy, that this was the making of the Mummy.
Yeah.
And yes, she was a mummy, but then he gets made a mummy, and then he goes off.
He gets all the powers. He gets all the powers.
Yeah, and he goes off into the world
right.
to do whatever it is he's going to do next. And so, at the end of the movie, I'm like, wait, this was the making of the Mummy. This wasn't actually the Mummy.
It should have been the Dark Mummy Rises or something.
The
Mummy Returns or something like that. So that's kind of what we, kind of stuff that we didn't like. But what did we like? What did you like in the movie?
So I liked that there was some comedy again. People didn't get it. Whatever. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting there to be some funny parts, and then there were some. I wouldn't say scary parts, but there were some parts where we
jumped. There's some good jump scares in it.
Yeah, and that's fun. This is a monster movie.
Yeah.
And I think that it was campy, and people didn't get that because it's a monster movie. I mean, you go back and watch those old,
the original
Bela Lugosi
right.
and all those, and they're very campy. They might have been trying to be serious then, but they're not. They're not now. Now they're just campy.
Right.
And I really liked the Creature from the Black Lagoon reference and the
Dracula
reference
or the vampire skull. Yeah, there was like little winks and nods. There was the Book of the Living, the Book of the Dead, one of the two books from the Brendan Fraser mummies. That was actually, it was a nice little wink to that one too. And then the sand face, kind of like how that
like
was kind
in
of
the
nice
original
little,
Mummy or the Brendan Fraser Mummy.
I liked the way they kind of set it up where they did the origin story of the Mummy, but it only took like 2 or 3 minutes. They didn't spend 45 minutes into trying to explain how we got to the Mummy. They explained it really good, really quick, and I liked how they added the Crusader part because it makes more sense being in London now. And having all of that make sense.
Right. They weren't running away to London.
Right. They were in London. The Prodigium was actually in London, run by Russell Crowe. I love Russell Crowe. He was awesome as Dr. Jekyll.
Is he wearing a fat suit?
I don't think so.
He's just huge.
He's just really big right now. And I liked his kind of matter-of-factness and stuff like that. I would be okay with seeing him be a more important part of the Dark Universe, which I think is going to happen since he's kind of the head of the Prodigium.
Well, yeah, and are they going to do a standalone Jekyll Hyde movie?
I don't know. He might be the connective tissue through everything. I thought it was going to be Tom Cruise, but I thought it's probably going to be Russell Crowe. I like the comedy, but overall, what I really liked was it was a monster movie. And if you're going to have a monster movie, you have to have a monster that you both fear, like, and are strangely attracted to. And Sofia Boutella was awesome in The Mummy, as the Mummy. And her ability to look Egyptian and the way she just, the physicalness of how she moved and how she was able to be both a real person, because they kind of go back and forth with flashback scenes, and the mummy. And the mummy that itself, when it wasn't her, was CGI'd, and it was awesome. It looked real. Yeah. There was very little CGI work that went in there where you're like, I'm not really sure. So, but I just like the way that they handled the mummy itself in the Mummy movie. So, overall, final thoughts. Do you like it?
It was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it anywhere near as badly as I thought I was going to. I thought I went into this like, oh, we have to go watch this. And it was okay. I was entertained for 2 hours or an hour and a half, whatever, however long it was. Will we buy it? No, probably not.
I don't know.
Watch it on HBO or Netflix? Sure.
What's going to happen is we're not going to, probably won't buy it, but what will end up happening is Bride of Frankenstein will come out, or The Invisible Man will come out, and it'll be really good, and then they'll start piecing all the universe together.
Yeah, and then you have to buy it as
we'll go to Zia or something like that and come back and buy it, and because now it'll be the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your score?
I'm gonna say
1 to 10 pops. We've actually been official. We've gone official with it.
I'm gonna give it 5 pops.
Really, that low? All right.
Well, 5.5.
All right.
Pop.
I was thinking pops, but okay, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Those two. I'm probably more of a 6.5. 6. I'm gonna go 6. I think they probably missed on some stuff that they could have done a little bit better, but overall, like you said, very entertained. I'm looking forward to the rest of the Dark Universe. It was a good start.
It was a decent start, yeah.
The problem, I think, with this is that we watched 3 really good movies in a row, and then we got this. So I mean, if this had been so if this had been first, and where we worked our way up to Guardians and Wonder Woman. So that's our review. What do you guys think? Did you like The Mummy? Do you think Rotten Tomatoes is terrible? Critics, whatever. We're not critics. And so tell us, like this video, leave us comments. Tell us if you liked it, if you didn't like it, or if you were just like us, where it was kind of, we were entertained. And so leave us a comment. You can also get a hold of us at Facebook at the Pop Culture Cult. We're Pop Culture Cult 1 on Instagram, and we're at Pop_Cult1 on Twitter. Please like, subscribe to our page, all of our pages, but specifically our YouTube channel. I need a beer. And we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. We're at 74. We're almost there. And so until next time, good night.